Did you know that interviewers decide whether they'll hire you in the first 7 seconds? Yes, just 7 seconds. That's how quickly they form an opinion about you. And guess what? Your introduction is the key. It's the moment that can either open doors or slam them shut. In this video, we're going to show you how to nail your self-introduction, starting with the first 30 seconds. You'll learn the secret strategies that top candidates use to grab attention and stand out. We'll dive into how to make a lasting impression, avoid common mistakes, and create curiosity that leaves interviewers wanting more. So, if you want to master the art of introducing yourself and make every interview count, keep watching. You're just 30 seconds away from turning your next interview into a job offer. Chapter 1: The Power of the First 30 Seconds. Mastering your elevator pitch. The first 30 seconds of an interview can make or break your chances. Research shows that interviewers form an impression of you within the first 7 to 10 seconds. This is your opportunity to shine, so make it count. A well-crafted elevator pitch is the key to getting the interviewer's attention right away. Your elevator pitch should be concise, ideally 30 to 45 seconds. This is enough time to give a snapshot of who you are and what you bring to the table. Start with a confident greeting. A simple hello, my name is, your name, and I am excited to be here works wonders. It establishes warmth and openness from the get-go. Now, you need to highlight your unique value. This is where many candidates go wrong. Instead of just listing your job titles, focus on what sets you apart. For example, rather than saying I've worked as a marketing manager, try something like, with 5 years of experience helping brands grow their digital presence, I've successfully increased customer engagement by 30%. This shows your impact rather than just your job duties. The key is to keep it focused and tailored. Think about the position you're interviewing for and align your introduction with the company's needs. Research has shown that people are more likely to remember a message when it's tailored to their interests. This is why customizing your pitch for each interview is essential. Don't forget to add a touch of personality. Data shows that interviewers are 25% more likely to hire candidates who come across as personable and relatable. So, don't be afraid to show a little enthusiasm or share a quick anecdote that reflects your passion for the role. Chapter 2: Beyond the Resume. Crafting a narrative that sticks. Instead of simply repeating what's on your resume, craft a narrative that tells a story. People are wired to remember stories, so tell one that connects your experience to your potential in the new role. Think of your resume as the facts, and your narrative as the context that makes those facts meaningful. Start by thinking about your career journey. What challenges have you overcome? What experiences have shaped you into the professional you are today? These are the moments that add depth to your introduction. For example, rather than just saying you led a project, explain how you did it, the obstacles you faced, and the results you achieved. This paints a much richer picture. One strategy is to structure your story using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. For instance, if you're applying for a leadership role, you could say, in my previous job, I was tasked with turning around a project that was behind schedule. I reorganized the team, set clear milestones, and delivered the project 2 weeks ahead of deadline. As a result, our team received recognition from upper management for our efficiency. Including specific, measurable results in your introduction is important. Data supports that candidates who mention concrete outcomes in interviews are 50% more likely to get hired. It shows you're results-driven and understand the bigger picture. Additionally, the way you tell your story matters. Enthusiasm and energy are contagious. When you speak with passion about your work, it's more likely to resonate with the interviewer. Keep your tone upbeat and confident. People trust candidates who believe in their own abilities. Lastly, don't rush through it. Make sure to pace yourself. Studies have found that people are more likely to connect with someone who speaks at a moderate pace, making your points clear and memorable. So, take a deep breath, smile, and let your story unfold naturally. Chapter 3: What you should never say. Avoiding red flags from the start. While there's a lot you should include in your introduction, there are also key things you should definitely leave out. Certain phrases can immediately turn an interviewer off, making it harder to recover. Here are the main red flags to avoid. First, avoid negative language. Phrases like "I'm not great at," or "I hate doing," can send the wrong message. Even if it's true that you struggle with certain aspects of a job, mentioning it in your introduction can plant seeds of doubt in the interviewer's mind. Always frame your weaknesses in a constructive way. For example, instead of saying, "I struggle with time management," You could say, I'm always looking for new tools and strategies to improve my time management, and I've recently adopted a method that has helped me stay more organized. Next, don't make your introduction sound like a rehearsed script. People can tell when you're reciting something you've memorized. The key to making a lasting impression is to sound natural and confident. A rigid, overly polished introduction can make you seem robotic, which is the last thing you want. Another big mistake is focusing too much on what you want from the job. For instance, saying something like "I'm just looking for any opportunity to grow" can come across as unfocused. Instead, highlight how your goals align with the company's mission and vision. Employers are looking for candidates who are not only passionate but also a good fit for the role and the team. Lastly, don't talk about salary, benefits, or work hours in your introduction. Keep the focus on your skills and how you can contribute to the company. Discussing money or perks too early can make it seem like you're more interested in what the job offers you rather than what you can offer the company. By avoiding these pitfalls, you'll come across as confident, focused, and prepared. Remember, the goal of your introduction is to build rapport and establish credibility. If you stay positive, engaging, and relevant, you'll set the stage for a successful interview. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on nailing your interviews. Chapter 4: Personal Branding in Action. How your introduction reflects your value. Your introduction is your first opportunity to showcase your personal brand, and how you present yourself says a lot about your value. A personal brand is the unique combination of skills, experiences, and values that you bring to the table. It's your professional fingerprint, and it's what sets you apart from other candidates. According to a study by Career Builder, 70% of employers consider personal branding to be important when evaluating candidates. This means that your introduction should reflect not just your job experience but also what makes you unique in your field. Start by thinking about what you want your brand to say about you. Are you a problem solver? A creative thinker? A team player? Use your introduction to highlight these qualities. One effective strategy is to use specific examples from your past roles. For example, if your personal brand is built on creativity, you could say, "I've spent the last few years working on innovative marketing campaigns that have helped companies increase customer engagement by 40%. This doesn't just tell the interviewer what you've done, it also shows them how you do it and why it matters. Another great tip is to emphasize what you can bring to the company's culture. Research from LinkedIn found that 88% of recruiters say that company culture fit is just as important as skills and experience. When you introduce yourself, make sure you highlight how your values and work style align with the company's mission. For example, if you're applying to a company that values collaboration, mention your team-oriented approach and share a brief story about a successful group project. Remember, your personal brand isn't something you just state outright, it's reflected in everything you say and how you say it. Stay consistent with your tone and message throughout the interview to reinforce your personal brand. The more you align your introduction with your brand, the more memorable you'll be. Chapter 5: Confidence over Perfection. Why authenticity wins every time. While preparing a solid introduction is key, the most important element of your pitch is authenticity. Trying to sound perfect or too polished can backfire, leaving you sounding rehearsed. People can tell when you're being inauthentic, and this makes them less likely to connect with you. Studies show that hiring managers are 26% more likely to hire candidates who come across as genuine and confident in their abilities. So, how do you balance confidence with authenticity? The trick is to show enthusiasm without overdoing it. For instance, instead of memorizing a script, focus on the key points you want to communicate, then speak naturally. Remember, the best introductions feel like a conversation, not a presentation. One of the easiest ways to boost your confidence is to practice your introduction out loud. According to psychologist Amy Cuddy, practicing your pitch in front of a mirror can improve your body language and make you feel more in control. Cuddy's research suggests that body language has a huge impact on how we're perceived. If you stand tall, make eye contact, and smile, you'll exude confidence, even if you're feeling nervous inside. But confidence doesn't mean arrogance. While it's important to express belief in your abilities, it's also crucial to remain humble. Rather than saying "I'm the best candidate for this job," try framing your value in a more grounded way, like "I believe my skills in project management and team leadership make me a strong fit for this role." When you're authentic, your introduction will feel less like a sales pitch and more like a true reflection of who you are. And that's exactly what employers want to see, someone who is genuine and confident, not someone trying to be perfect. Chapter 6: Creating Curiosity. How to leave the interviewer wanting more. The best introductions don't just tell the interviewer who you are, they spark curiosity. You want the person sitting across from you to think, I need to know more about this candidate. Creating curiosity is a powerful strategy that keeps the conversation going and makes you stand out in a crowded field. One way to do this is by mentioning an achievement or experience that's intriguing but not fully explained. For instance, instead of just saying, "I led a successful project," you might say, "I recently led a project that helped the company increase sales by 25%, and I'd love to share the strategy behind it." This leaves the interviewer wanting more details, encouraging them to ask follow-up questions. By providing just enough information without giving everything away, you can turn your introduction into a teaser for the rest of the interview. It's like telling a good story, you don't give away the ending up front, you keep the audience engaged with questions and mysteries that make them want to hear the rest. You can also create curiosity by mentioning unique aspects of your background. Maybe you've worked in a different industry or have a skill that's not immediately obvious on your resume. For example, saying, "I have a background in both design and coding, which allows me to bridge the gap between creative and technical teams," can spark interest. It's something that makes you different and worth learning more about. Another technique is to connect your introduction to the company's mission or future goals. For example, if you know the company is expanding into a new market, you could say, "I'm particularly excited about this role because my previous experience in international business could help your company navigate this new expansion." By tying your skills to the company's growth, you create a sense of anticipation about how you can contribute. Ultimately, leaving the interviewer wanting more is about sparking their curiosity without overwhelming them with too much information. Keep your introduction focused, interesting, and just mysterious enough to make them eager to hear more about you throughout the interview.